Hello and welcome. I'm Raghav from automationstepbystep.com, and today we are going to learn from very basics, very scratch, what are GitHub Actions, and I will go very basic step by step. So do not worry if this is the first time you are learning GitHub Actions. So the topics we are going to cover today are, we are going to see number one, what is GitHub Actions, and then we will see how to use GitHub Actions. So we will see a step-by-step demo. So I will be creating a new repository and I will show you from very basics, how do we use it? And then we will see a demo workflow file, how to create, run and check results. And we will also discuss some terms which are used in GitHub Actions. So these are workflows, then events, and then jobs and steps. So these are the four major terms that we use in our workflow file in GitHub Actions. So let's get started. And the first thing is, what is GitHub Actions? So this is a feature in GitHub. So it is a feature within GitHub, built in GitHub, to create custom automated workflows. Now, do not worry, I will show you in a moment what exactly this means, what are the workflows, how exactly these are created, how these are automated. But just for understanding, let's say in any software development project, in any project where we are developing a software, we have certain stages. So let's say I'll have some stages here. Let's say we have a coding stage, then we may have a build stage, and then let's say this is a build stage, and these all will be chained. Then we may have more stages. After building, we may want to deploy it to a QA environment. So we may have a stage called deploying to a QA environment. Then we may have a testing stage, and then we can have a release stage, and then monitoring, and so on. Okay. So here, these are the typical major stages in a software development project. Now, if we are putting our code on a GitHub repository, so let's say we are using a GitHub repository where we have our code base and where we do all the commit and push of the codes. And then to implement a CI CD process, let's say we are using an external tool. And let's say we are using something like Jenkins. Jenkins is a very common CI tool. So what will happen is we will create some jobs in Jenkins to, let's say there will be job to build, there can be a job to deploy, there can be a job to test, there can be a job for release, and so on. And we will give our GitHub repository URL to these jobs, and these jobs will be chained. That means when build jobs runs, when this build job run and it is successful, it will then trigger the deploy job. It is successful, it will trigger the test job and then release job, and so on. So this is how we create a complete CI CD pipeline. And we generally use a tool which is some external tool. But now all this can be done within GitHub using GitHub Actions. And this is not just what it can do much more than CI CD, and I will show you that in a moment. But now we do not have to depend on any external tool, but we can do everything, all the CI CD and many other things within GitHub using GitHub Actions. So let's say, so this is a feature. This is a feature within GitHub to create custom automated flows. And using this, we can automate software development life cycle workflows, like whatever we want to do during any stage of our software development, we can create workflows. We can implement CI CD and in fact DevOps as well, and we can actually automate any workflow. So basically, when you create a GitHub repository, on any event during that repository, within that repository, on any action on that repository, we can create some automated workflows, and that is all what GitHub Actions is. So this will be very clear when we see a demo. So let's jump to our demo. And here, step number 1 will be sign up and log into github.com. So in case you do not have a account on GitHub, you can create an account. I will go to github.com, and here, if you do not have an account, you can click on sign up here, and it will ask you to give your email ID, and then you can create a username, password. It will send you a link on your email for activation, and you can then activate and create your account. And once you have created, you can go to sign in. So I have an account. I will go to sign in and sign into my account. And after signing in, we will create a new repository. Now, in case you have created a new account, you will not see any existing repositories. So we will create a new repository. So that is step number 2. Step 2 is create a new repository. Now you can also use GitHub Actions on any existing repository as well. But for now, for this demo, we will create a new repository. So here, you can click on this new button here, or you can go to this plus button drop down and click on new repository. Anything will work. I am clicking here on this new button, and I will call this as GitHub Actions demo. You can use any name which is available. Okay, description is optional. And for now, I will keep it public and click on create repository. Okay, so we have done step number 2. Now, step number 3 will be in the repo, create a folder .github, and then inside .github workflows. So this is important. All our workflows are present in this folder. In the main repository, we will create this folder .github and workflows. So here, you can either create manually and then commit and push to the repository, or the other way is you can go to this actions tab here, and here you can see this is the section for GitHub Actions, and you can see here you can set up a workflow yourself, or there are some templates as well. So a simple workflow, all the deployment related workflows like deploy to Azure, Amazon, deploy to IBM Cloud, OpenShift. Then you can see all the security workflows. Then continuous integration workflows are here. Automation workflows are here. Manual workflow is here. Pages, etc. And these are some categories as well. So there are many templates, many demo workflows. And if you want, you can use them and then you can edit them. Or here I will say, set up a workflow yourself. So I'll click here. And here you can see it has automatically created a .github and workflows folder. And this is the name of the file. You can change the name. Now this is going to be a YAML file. Okay, so here we create workflows for GitHub Actions. We create workflows, and workflows are created in a YAML file. YAML is a format, is a programming language, and it has a particular format with some particular syntax. Okay, so let's do that, and you will understand once we create the file. So you can name it anything. I'm just calling it as demo1.yml. YAML is the extension for a YAML file. Okay, so let me also add this step number 4 in the folder. Create a YAML file with .yml extension. Okay, so we have named the file. Now we have to add the content of the file. Now this is, as I said, the workflows are created in the YAML file. So we actually have to create a workflow. Now here, to create a workflow, for now, I will just take some sample workflow from online and then I will explain it to you. So I am searching GitHub Actions YAML to print hello world. So I'm just using a sample hello world workflow. And here it is. I'll also copy this link in the notes. All these notes will be available to you in the description of this video. Okay. So you can also just directly go to here from the description as well. So this is a demo workflow file. Here you can see the name of the workflow is hello world. The event is push. That means whenever something will be pushed to this repository, this will trigger, this will call this workflow file. And then we have jobs. The jobs, all the jobs will be listed here. We have one job called my job, which runs on a Ubuntu system. So GitHub also has some virtual machines and some containers, Linux containers and Linux virtual machines, Windows and Mac containers and virtual machines. We can use that. And then on this Ubuntu system, we are running the command echo hello world, which will print hello world on the console. So I'm just copying this. I will also explain these terms to you in a moment. For now, I'm just copying this data and putting it in my workflow file, that is demo1.yml. Also, in YAML, the syntax is very important. Syntax and spacing are important. So sometimes when you copy paste, there may be some problems. So make sure that this is a valid YAML file and valid YAML syntax. And for that, you can copy the content and go to any online YAML formatter or beautifier. So let me just search for YAML formatter. And you can see there are so many online formatters available. So I can go to anyone and just paste and format. You can use this one, or this one is also there. I can just copy my content and format, and then you can copy the formatted content. So this will ensure that the syntax is correct. Okay, so we have done this step. I will tell you about these different terms that we use in a workflow file. Add the content of the workflow in the file. And then step number 6 will be commit and push the changes. So see here, after adding all this data, we have the option to commit the changes. Now see here, for this example, for this demo, I am doing everything inside the GitHub repository within the GitHub account. However, generally all this commit and push may happen from outside, like whenever there is a code commit by some developers, or whenever there is some other push to this repository from outside. And just in case you are completely new to Git and GitHub, you can watch my tutorial Git and GitHub. If you search Git and GitHub by my name, you will see this video, Git and GitHub hands-on. Here I have explained how exactly we use Git and GitHub in real world. So this is very easy and it will be very interesting. It's like 32 minutes video. So you can watch this one just in case you want to understand. But just for now, because we are focusing on GitHub Actions, I'm doing everything inside GitHub repository itself. So here you can see Here the event is on push. That means whenever something will be committed and pushed on this repository, this job should run. So let's see that. I will click on this start commit and I will give some message, added demo 1.yml and commit new file. So this should start this GitHub action workflow. And we have to now check if it has ran the job. So now we will say step number 7 will be go to repo main page and click actions tab. So this is the repo main page and you will see the actions tab here. So I will click on the actions tab and now you can see our workflow has come here. This is our workflow and you can see the runs of the workflow here. So I will say step number 8, select the workflow from left sidebar and check the logs and results. Okay, so click on this and here you can see this is our workflow file. I will click on this and here you can see the job. It has a single job. I will click on the job now and this will show me the logs and you can see here we have our job. First it ran the setup that will spin up a Ubuntu system. So you can see it is running the Ubuntu image and preparing the system, operating system, that is Ubuntu. And then this is the actual job by step. And here it is running this command echo hello world and which is printing hello world. And then it is completing the job and doing all the cleanup process. So this is how it is running. And if you want to rerun and check, you can click here, rerun all jobs. So I'll say rerun all jobs. As of now, I have a single job and you can see now it is in progress. You can go inside the job and check the progress as well. So this is running and you can see status is queued. And once it will be executed, you will see it is completed. Okay, and let me go back and show you. You can see the usage, workflow, file, everything from here. I'll go back to summary and I'll go back to the workflow. Okay, you can see here. View latest attempt. It is all successful now. See, it was executed 2 seconds ago. And if I go back, yeah, if I go back to GitHub Actions, and here you can see all your workflows, all your workflow runs, and then you can also filter your workflow runs based on event. For example, as of now, we just have a push event on this workflow, but if you have more, you will have this here and you can filter it from here based on status, queued, in progress, completed, etc. Then in case you have workflows on multiple branches, you can do that, filter from that, or you have created by some particular user, you can do that as well. So here, if I again go inside, you can see this job was executed and this is the status. So if I go back, you can see all the details here. Now see here, as of now, I have a very simple file. This file that I have here, this is a very simple file or a very simple workflow. We are just doing a hello world. We are running echo hello world and printing hello world. But however, in real world, there are so many things you can do. You can create multiple jobs and then on multiple events. As of now, we have a single event that is push. We can have push, pull, commit, release, create a issue, check in, check out, anything you can have. You can have jobs run in sequence or in parallel. We can also exchange data between jobs. We can also create nested jobs. We can also create chain jobs. So let me come to the terms and it will be more clear to you. So if I talk about the terms that we use in the workflow files or GitHub Actions, the first one is workflow, and you can say this is collection of jobs and defined in a YAML file. Okay, collection of jobs defined in a YAML file, and here the keyword that we use for job is name. Okay, so you can see here, this is, we use name colon and then give the name of the workflow. Okay, similarly, the next is events, and these are any activity in the repo can be called as an event, and that can trigger a workflow. Okay, and here the keyword is on colon. So you can see here, for this particular example, the event is push. So we use on colon, and it can be push, pull, it can be multiple events as well. If you see some template workflow files, you will come to see the different events we can use. And then we have jobs, and jobs are collection of steps, and this has the keyword jobs. Okay, so you can see here we have the keyword jobs, and inside this keyword we can have multiple jobs, and then every job can have multiple steps. So that is what we have next, that is steps, and this is actions to be taken. It can be commands, scripts, anything, expressions, etc. And here the keyword we use is steps colon. So you can see here we have steps, and then we give the steps of this job. Okay, so these are the main terminologies, major things we use. We can actually also use chain jobs. We can chain the jobs, and here we can use the keyword needs. You can see some examples online. So we can chain the jobs, we can exchange the data between the jobs, we can create scripts, we can add expressions, scripts, everything here. Okay, so this is what is GitHub Actions. I will also create a quiz and put the link in the description, so you can also check your knowledge by taking that quiz. And all these notes and everything you will find in the description of this video. If you have any questions, any doubts, you can let me know. I will answer you in the comment section, and I hope this was useful. Thank you for watching, and never stop learning.